this is John with Wattmaster Controls. Today we're going to continue on with our segment of technical videos to help with training in the field and so forth. And what we're going to demonstrate today is the flashing process. In order to do that, what we're going to need to have is a couple of components here. If I could show you. What we're going to use today is the USB Link 2. We can also use what we call the ComLink 5. Both of these have USB connections to a computer, and it's assumed you have your USB drivers loaded on the computer already for these devices prior to doing the flash process. Now, once we've got these connected, whether you're using the USB Link 2 or the ComLink 5, one thing we want to make sure of is we want to go over here and verify on our AZ-2 master controller again. We have got a portal window that scrolls information like address of controller, the software, and the version of the software. So what you want to key in on is the address, which is important during the flash process, as well as what the current version of software is on the controller. Okay, once the flash process has completed, we can go back, the board will reboot itself, we should have a later version of the software. Now, just a few things. In order to flash or update these controllers, you're going to have to contact Wattmaster Technical Support for the various hex files that are associated. A hex file essentially is the program that updates these controls. So that's one thing. Wattmaster Technical Support can send you those hex files, and we can talk to you over the phone and actually help you install them. So at this point, I believe we're going to move on into actually doing the process. We verify, again, the address, the version of software right off the bat, and we've got our USB link in this case we're using. Just real quick, something I'd like to add is that when you're using a USB link, or a ComLink for that matter, and you're flashing one of our controllers, it is recommended you have it on standalone, and it is also recommended you have it on high speed. That will greatly cut down the time of flashing your controller. At this point, we'll go ahead and proceed to work on the laptop, as well as you can use a desktop computer. We're using a laptop for this process, but you can use either or. So we'll start off this process and show you at the end of the flash that we have actually updated the controller. We're going to move to the computer side of the house, I should say, and actually show you how to set up Prism and get the flash file. And I want to strive that we want to have the latest version of Prism 2 if possible. So essentially what I've done is I've clicked on Login, and I want to use an administrator ID and password, which is admin and admin for the password. Click on Login. You'll see we have administrator access here where my mouse pointer is pointing to, so we're good. Okay. Next step is, now that we're logged in, and I've already created one, but what we do is we go out here to our job site icon. And if you don't already have a job site set up, which you should probably, under the assumption that you've used a USB Link 2 before on your machine, the job site I've set up here is called Tech Training. Essentially, I've named it Tech Training. You can call it what you want to. In this case, under the serial port, we want to make sure we have the Serial Labs drivers loaded for our USB Link 2 to communicate with the computer. And the next step is we want to go down here under type of ComLink. We want to click on ComLink 5 or USB Link 2, and then we're going to go down here and we're going to click on USB Link Standalone, because this is essentially standalone talking to a standalone controller at this point. So now we've got our job site set up. We can exit out of this. Go up here, if we click offline, it will go online, give you an indicator. And the next step we want to do is be able to access our AZ-2 controller. So let's go up here under Communications. Let's go down here and let's search for units. Start our search. And as you can see, it's gone through and found a green box at address 59 here. We're going to exit. We're going to save the search results. We're going to go out here under Unit Selection now. If you follow my mouse pointer, go down to the bottom here, address 59, AZ-2 controller. We'll double click on that to make sure it's come up and we're communicating with it. And we are. Okay. So now we've proven we've got communication with our USB link talking to our AZ-2 master controller. I'm going to exit out of this. At this point now, we're going to go up and we're going to do our flash process, get it started. You clicked on communications. You want to go down here to flash, select controller, and you want to choose manual program flash. Okay? Our flash controller screen comes up here. A couple of things you want to pay attention to. If you noted earlier when I was talking about the AZ-2 master, showing that to you, giving you the address, you're going to want to make sure that your unit is the address of the controller. In this case, it's 59, as we showed earlier. I'm going to press that. We're going to be on loop 1 because this is a standalone. It's a single loop, essentially. And you always want to, under your connection, make sure that network is checked. Okay? So now we've got these three things. We've got the network connection checked. We've got our loop 1, which is basically standalone unit, and our unit address of our AZ-2 controller, which is 59. So now that we've got this set up, let's go out and click on the box here where my mouse pointer is clicking to go into the folders to select our file. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go out here to our C drive, and we're going to go down to Prism 2. And the assumption is that you've contacted Wattmaster Tech Support and requested the latest hex file for updating your AZ-2 controller. And at that point, we'll either email it to you or direct you to a website to get it. So let's scroll down here and let's look for our hex file. Okay, here is our, no, that's, I apologize, that's not, here is our hex file. This is SS8002 underscore 232 underscore application only underscore only dot hex. Okay, now this is the file I want to select. The code that's currently on the AZ-2 controllers is SS8002 version 2.26. We're going to upgrade to version 2.32 or flash. So I'm going to select that, open it. You'll notice now this populates here in the hex file section, C prism 2 backslash SS8002 underscore 232 underscore application underscore only dot hex. So this is the file that's going to upgrade our AZ-2 controller to the latest version of 232. Everything appears to be working at this point. We're communicating, so I'm going to click on Program Hex at this point. Now, if you'll notice down here where the mouse pointer's at, it's going to say Resetting Controller. And the next option or screen that's going to come up here is going to say Erasing Old Program. And then we go right into sending the hex file out to the controller. This process normally takes about 2 to 2.5 minutes. One thing that we need to also that I failed to mention that we need to make sure on our AutoZone 2 controller is that it is set up as high speed. And that can be set up via the dip switch settings on the address block. Dip switch 2 needs to be in the on position where it says loop baud, and that will make your AZ-2 controller a high-speed device. You want this to be high speed, your AZ-2 controller to be high speed. If you don't, this process of flashing on low speed could take up to 30 minutes. As you can see, we're about 1/3 of the way through, and we're not even a minute into the process. Just kind of looking things over here, essentially at this point, you won't have any activity on your AZ-2 master controller. Okay, now we're back at the AZ-2 master controller after the flash process. At this point, we want to pay attention to the portal window here that I pointed out earlier that actually scrolls through and shows our current version after the flash, shows our address of the controller, which is 59, and that will not change, as well as the version of software, which it'll scroll across here and it'll actually say version 2.32. So this way you've determined that your board has been updated. At this point, the board is ready to be connected to a unit, and you will not lose any of your configuration information during this process. Set points, configuration data will stay intact on the board. It'll just be updated with the latest software.